Hi everyone, Joseph here from the Stanfield Experience. Today we are looking at the Feelworld F450 field monitor. Before I dive in, let me just start off by saying that this is my first official video product overview. So bear with me as I stumble through this and keep your fingers crossed that everything stays in focus. One of the reasons I picked up the Feelworld F450 was price. It's currently listed for approximately $249 US, about half the price of a small HD Focus 5-inch field monitor. Another reason was that I had heard pretty good things about the Feelworld products, and I thought I'd give one of them a try. I was in need of a smaller format field monitor. The monitor I have over here that I'm looking at is a 7-inch, and for that run and gun or even just the field type video production stuff, it was difficult to lug around the 7-inch monitor. Although the size of that is nice, this smaller format 4.5-inch field monitor seems to do the trick. I know for some of you, including myself, the quality of the box can often show a level of detail that the manufacturer is willing to put into their product. This particular box and packaging appeared to be pretty decent. It's got some generic printing on it. It doesn't actually say anywhere on the box what the product is other than it's an on-camera field monitor. It's got a barcode that does indicate that it's a Feelworld F450 4.5 inch and battery charger. It says new on here just in case you were concerned. I think the quality of the box kind of falls apart once you pull the lid off. When I received it, the monitor was set up so high inside the packaging that the top of the box hadn't even fully seated down on the base of the box. Fortunately, the monitor's fine. Once you pull out the foam, there's really not a whole lot going on here other than just miscellaneous random, parts stuffed in the bottom. It does come with a battery charger, which it says in the description. It's the NP F550 battery charger. Pretty standard stuff, nothing really too exciting there. The battery I haven't opened. I'm assuming it's a F550. I think that's what it had indicated. So it does have a little ball head tripod mount. It does come with a hot shoe adapter. Let's see if I can pull this in over here. A tight shot. They're just sort of there. It does come with a HDMI mini to standard cable. It does have a nice aluminum body. It has a little bit of weight to it, and by that I just mean it feels good in the hand. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's heavy. For me, it's really the perfect size. Like I had mentioned earlier, I had a 7-inch field monitor that I had mounted up on this small rig cage, and it worked good. It tended to be a little bit heavy for all applications, and I was just looking for something a little bit smaller when it comes to being around other people. That big 7-inch monitor with a hood tends to draw some attention. I'm hoping that this one would draw a little less attention. Brightness seems okay. I really haven't had a chance to test it much in the daylight, but overall, it looks good. Looking down here at my phone just to kind of give you an idea of size comparison. So it's more or less the same size as an iPhone 6. The screen itself is a little bit taller and a little bit shorter, maybe by 1/4 inch each way. I don't know if you can actually see that on the other camera, but it's a good size. And short of mounting the iPhone to the camera, with its latency problems. This seems to be really the best solution. One of the issues that I'm having with this particular setup is that both HDMI ports are on the bottom of the camera. And although that may be good in some situations, in this particular situation, the way I have it mounted, the HDMI port in is on this side. And as you can see, there's no way for me to get an HDMI cable into the monitor with this particular setup. So if you're hoping to mount this in a similar fashion, it's great on this side when you've got it flipped around facing you, but as soon as you want to spin it around so that you can, maybe do some vlogging, you might have a problem. So, it's a concern. I'm not exactly sure the best way to fix that. What I'll do here, though, is I will turn on, plug in, and we can see a little bit of action here. So let's see if we can. I think you can see that. You get a little slow response, but it's not horrible, at least for me. The native resolution is 1280 by 800, but this is a 4K monitor. It does display 4K information from the A6500. It's got a brightness of about 470 nits according to the information provided, which is about half of what you get from a small HD focus. I believe they're right up around 800 nits or more. So, I don't know how important that is to everybody. I can say that this particular unit does not come with a hood. It's something that I often use out in the field. We do some water sports with the family, and if we do some skating or bike riding or whatever out in the, in a nice bright sunny day, that hood does come in handy. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be a problem in here. This particular unit's got an HDMI in and an HDMI out. So if you want to do some pass-through video to a larger monitor, you can do that. It does have a headphone jack. It has a built-in speaker, so you can play back and hear both through audio or through your headphones as well as through the speaker. As I've probably already mentioned, this does accept standard F450 battery packs. I happen to have 4 or 5 of them from other products that I have. It does have peaking focus. It's not something that I rely on very much. Maybe if I'm doing some tabletop stuff, but honestly, it's just not something I use very much. It does have image flip, image freeze, custom color temperature, aspect ratio. It says that it has pixel to pixel. I have not been able to get that to work. It does indicate on the website description that the pixel to pixel does not work in 4K, so keep that in mind. I have not been able to get it to work even in regular HD, and that just may be this particular unit's defective, or I haven't figured it out yet. I changed the settings a little bit on the other camera so that we can see the menu system a little bit better on the monitor. And like many of the menu systems on the entry-level monitors, they're pretty generic. There's really not a whole lot going on there. They're not the most user-friendly, but they get the job done. So up on the top, we've got 8 buttons. This set of 5 buttons here has the menu button, and then we have the left and the right and the up and the down buttons over here. This set of 3 over here is the power button on the inside, and then you have the programmable F1 and F2 buttons. So let's jump through the menu system real quick. Right here in the middle is the menu button, and for anybody who's familiar with these monitors, you're probably you'll probably recognize the menu system. My other monitor has this exact same menu system, and as you can see, left and the right, and then you can go to the up and the down to access what you need. There's not a whole lot to it. I'm not sure if this is the one, but Yeah, so right there you can see that the pixel to pixel, or P2P, is blued out. So it's not accessible in 4K. If we switch over to 1080p HD, and once the screen comes back up, you'll notice that the P2P is still blued out. So I'm not sure what the issue is. This is supposed to be usable in full HD, but I'm not able to gain access to it. I'll have to do a little research and see if there's something online that will explain it. But really, that's it. That's the menu system in a nutshell. You've got the F1. Let's see, let's take the menu off. We got the F1 over here, and I'm not sure what I have it set at. And then you have the F2. Again, I'm not sure what it's set at the moment. And we got the power button. So that's more or less it. Like I said, it's pretty generic. I guess maybe not user-friendly is a little bit of an overstatement. It's not any worse than what the Sony Alpha series has going on here. Speaking of things that don't work, I know a lot of times people complain about the little LED being on when the unit is turned off. This particular unit doesn't show green or red, so it's not working at all. There's a few things that it doesn't have that I had hoped that it would. With a price point of $249, $250, I guess you can't really have everything. This particular unit has 1/4 inch thread mounting location. Its big brother, I believe, has side and bottom. I would think that the side would be a real great solution with this bottom mounting HDMI position. This particular monitor doesn't have false color. I can't, as I mentioned before, I can't get the pixel to pixel to work, but it would be nice if the pixel to pixel did work in the 4K. It does not have a power output, and I know that that's kind of a luxury item, and the small HD Focus 5-inch monitor does do that, which is great because the battery pack that you use for the monitor can also power this incredibly bad battery for the Sony a6500. ICANN makes a great 3.5-inch field monitor. It does everything that I think most people need in a monitor of that size. The problem I have is that anything smaller than the standard smartphone from today really starting to push it on size. Take a look at Caleb's video on the ICANN 3.5-inch. I'll post his video up here somewhere. He's a DSLR shooter. He's got some great insight and a ton of experience on these types of products. And he did a review on the 3.5-inch, and I looked at it pretty closely. Like I said, it's at the same price point, just too small for my application. And the bulk of the 3.5, the actual size of the unit, is not much smaller than the 4.5-inch of the Feelworld. Again, you lose a little bit on the Feelworld. You don't have all of the same features in the menu system. I think I'm going to enjoy this. Maybe I'll do a follow-up review when I've had some more time outside with it and can see how it performs with my day-to-day use. I think that wraps it up for me for the Feelworld F450. I hope this was somewhat informative. I know there's not a lot of information out there right now on this particular product, which is why I'm doing this review. All of the links to the products you see here, including the A6500 and the small rig and so forth, are all down below. Feel free to ask me any questions you might have. If I've missed anything, if I missed any links, feel free to post in the comment section below. Don't forget to do all the things that YouTubers do. Subscribe, like, don't like. Thanks for watching. Until next time.